Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video and welcome to the final episode of my season preview for the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship for 2023. This episode I'm going to be talking about the wild world that is the 250 Supercross class in both East and West. Obviously now, of course, as I speak right now, the main event of the 250 class is on right now. I did say I wanted to get both of them out, but unfortunately, just good old me just not did it. So, but now I'm doing it now. So we'll talk, and also I'll be talking about my season predictions. Hopefully I'll get this video out before the end of Anaheim, end of the 450 Supercross main event at Anaheim, so it's not spoiled some of my predictions. So we'll start talking about the 250 class. So I think so we'll start off with none other than the number 18 in Jet Lawrence, of course, who is the reigning 250 East champion. As we all know, he's racing this weekend and the West side of things, becoming only the second rider after James Stewart to win a championship on both at least one championship on both coasts. Obviously, he did that back in the day, of course, and then of course, obviously, as we all know, he's going to race the 450 class in the Pro Motocross Championship this year, and then of course that would lead to, I would assume, going to 450 Supercross full time in 2024. But there's been rumours, been swirling around, speculation that there's a possibility. There was the possibility that Honda might race him, racing the 450 class on the east side of things while he's on this break, while Hunter's racing 250 East. He'll be racing the 450 East side of things, which those right now have been proven untrue. I agree with what everyone's saying, that it's basically Jet against the rest in 250 West. No doubt about it. I mean, he's the reigning 250 East champion. He's won two 250 motocross championships. No doubt about it. He is possibly the title favorite and the one the favorites going into 2023 right now on the West side of things. And capturing perfectly, because heading into Hunter, speaking about Hunter, he might be the favourite on the east side of things. So I think this might be, for the first time, we'll see two brothers title favourites on each coast, Jet with West and Hunter with East. Now, the thing was basically Jet was, before I move on to Hunter, was he was scheduled last year to race West. He was scheduled to race West, but he got injured in training a couple of days before Anaheim 1. I think he injured his shoulder or collarbone, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. I think he did his collarbone, and he had no choice but to race East. That was the best thing that happened to him, because of that, he ended up being one of the favourites on the East side and basically ended up winning the championship. So I wonder how, with a stacked field, most likely it's going to be a stacked field on the West side of things, and then slightly less stronger on the East side of things. I wonder how Jet's going to go over there. But I still think it's going to be Jet versus the rest on the West side of things, and most likely on the East side as well with Hunter. I think Hunter, I believe, is probably the more underrated brother, in my opinion. Because I think everyone's been talking about Jet and how good he is. But nobody, but everybody forgets how good Hunter can be too. He proved it in the 250 championship last year. He challenged. There was a couple of times where he had this Hunt had he and Jet, this brother v brother type of thing. A couple of races in 2022 on the pro motocross side of things, and then of course he's had 5 previous wins in the 250 class. So I think everyone sleeps on him pretty much, but this is the year probably that Hunter shows everyone that everyone has to treat him as Hunter Lawrence, not Jet Lawrence's older brother. I think, in my opinion, I think this is the year with Jet now going up to the 450 class. I think it's the time for for Hunter to step into the light and step out of his younger brother's very, very talented shadow, and basically step out and say that, yeah, I am capable of doing the same things that Jet does, because most likely he will be favourite in the 250 motocross side of things when we get to outdoors, the outdoors in the middle of the year, no doubt about it. So moving on from the Lawrence brothers, we get into Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Of course, they have of course, it was announced that Austin Faulkner and Cameron McAdoo will race west, and Joe Shimoda and Seth Hammaker will race east. Which is great. I think for me, I think that it was a good decision for them to have McAdoo and Faulkner. I think jury's out on who's ranked as the best rider on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. I think it's hard to say who's the top, but I'm not saying that Seth Hammaker is probably the weak link in that team. Not saying that, but I think the other three in Faulkner, McAdoo, and Shimoda do have are better than him on that front. Even though Hammaker did in his first professional year did win a race in 2021, but unfortunately didn't do that in 2022. And then of course with the others that are racing, I think they're gonna rate the other two. I think Jet Reynolds that is in as part of their team there. I think he's gonna race in the motocross scene, and as well as Ryder DiFrancesco, who apparently he is an absolute gun and an absolute jet. Apparently. According to his performances in Supercross Futures and all those in the amateur ranks, I think he's training as a star for the future. That Pro Circuit are going to take him up for sure. But probably all the eyes are going to be on Austin Faulkner, because with 12 Supercross wins, he is the winningest rider in the 250 class to have not won a title. And jury's out on, I think for me, don't get me wrong, I think his time of winning a title is still there. But the days of him being the guy is gone. I think they're gone. He had that shot in 2019. He was unbeatable, and then once he done his ACL, he has not been the same rider. He has not been the same. I think he and Ken Roxon are basically the same, where they have been at that stages where they've been the guy in 450, or in Roxon's case in the 450 class, and Faulkner's case in the 250 class, and then they've done an injury or two that's basically affected them, and they come back and they have not been the same. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That's what I think, in my opinion. As I said, I still think Faulkner can win. Do I think he can win this challenge Jet for this 250 West title? Hell yeah. But do I think those days of him being the guy are still there? No, they're not. In my opinion, no, they're not. The question is, with Hunter racing East, do I think Shimoda, who do I think will challenge out of Haymaker or Shimoda? I think more of a chance Shimoda might, but he hasn't been, like, since he moved to Pro Circuit Kawasaki. I thought that he would, raise his game or go to another level and just start winning main events and all that. But he hasn't really done that as of yet. I hope this year he does it, for his sake and for Pro Circuit Kawasaki's sake, that he does. I know Seth Haymaker will podium a couple of times and maybe get the odd win here and there, but I believe Shimoda, I think if there's more, if I had to choose those two to challenge Hunter for the East title, I would go with Shimoda. I think, no doubt about that. Moving on to another team in the Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha team. They're currently in a rebuilding phase. It looks like they're in a rebuilding or transitional phase. The three dominant guys that they had previously in Cooper, at one stage they had Ferrandis, they had Justin Cooper, they had Colt Nichols at some point, and then of course last year they added in Christian Craig. Unfortunately, those all four are now in the 450 class. In terms of Cooper, Nichols, and Craig, they've been booted out. All three of them are in the different teams. Justin Cooper's now in the 450 Star Racing Yamaha program. Colt Nichols is on Team Honda HRC alongside Chase Sexton, and Christian Craig is on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna team alongside Malcolm Stewart. And who they added in? They added in Styles Robertson, who's only been on the podium a couple of times, but not been special really. Romano, who I don't know much about really. Don't know much about. And to have the experience of Jordan Smith, and all four of these are going to be alongside Levi Kitchen, who's also inexperienced in terms of Supercross. He's ridden, I think, a couple of main events as Levi Kitchen. So it's a transitional phase for Star, and I won't be surprised if they don't do what they've done, and that is win the championship. I think that'll be the first time probably. I'm probably guessing since 2017, because Blessinger won a Supercross title in 2018. Ferrandis, for some reason, won in 2019. Ferrandis again in 2020. Justin Cooper and Colt Nichols in 2021, and then Christian Craig in 2022. So it's probably it's more of the chance probably for the first time in 2017 we're not going to see a Star Racing Yamaha rider most likely not going to have a number one plate in their hands for the first time. For the first time in 6 years, which is crazy really for that team. Since they've had so much success in recent years. But it's much more expected. But I don't think there's much more downside to this either. I mean, they have Hayden Deegan in their books, in their books, and they got a lot of other very talented young riders in their ranks as well, so that they'll take up. So there's no doubt about. I think Deegan will no doubt will maybe next year race Supercross. I know he's going to be racing motocross this year, not this year. But yeah, so it's gonna be that really. I think it's gonna be a transitional year for Star Racing Yamaha. Next one I want to talk about is Michael. Is the leading man at the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull Gas Factory 250 team in Michael Moserman. It was announced that he would race East alongside the likes of Hunter and Shimoda, Shimoda and Handmaker. So I believe for me that is pretty important, really. And I think after he grabbed his first 250 Supercross win at San Diego last year, I think that must have given him a lot of confidence. I think he finished third, I believe, in the championship in the West class. I believe only behind Christian Craig and Hunter Lawrence were in front of him in the championship, I think, which is massive for him. And I said this in a couple episodes ago about Justin Barsh's future, and now he's in his 10th year. There's no doubt about it if Michael Moserman does challenge for the 250 East Championship or even wins it, there's no doubt about it that will cause Gas to consider a second 450 bike. There's no doubt about it. I think they've only run one 450 bike for Bam Bam for the last 2 years, probably 3 years now. Adding this year, I think no doubt about it. I think he can be better than what everyone else thinks. No doubt about it. I think he'll be better than what everyone else thinks, and yeah, I think and he'll definitely challenge Hunter for the 250 East title. And there's no doubt about it. Now on to the Red Bull KTM guys. Of course, starting off with Tom Vial, who is nobody knows, is a two-time MX2 champion. Following the footsteps of Ken Roxon and Marvin Musquin before him, going from the GP scene now going over to the US to be successful. He hasn't really done that much Supercross. Don't know how he's going to go, and I don't know how Max Volan's going to go either. He's only raced 4 main events. In his first year, he was a bit consistent, running in the top 10 consistently until he got hurt. And then last year, let's not talk about Supercross with Max Volan. He was just not there really. But he did make it. But he has been consistent through both of these motocross seasons. I think he did race motocross in 2021. I think I have to check that. But yeah. So I think it was announced that Vial will race East and Voland will race West. I'm interested to see how those two will go, especially how Vial will go in his first ever season of Supercross. First time he's ever raced Supercross, really for him. Last thing I want to talk about is the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna team. Of course, they're down to 2 bikes, obviously with Styles Robertson going over to Star Racing Yamaha, with RJ Hampshire and Jalek Swoll. RJ Hampshire is going to race West. Jalek Swoll is going to race East. No doubt about it. I think Hampshire, he'll be another title contender on the west side of things. This is why I've said this is why I think it's going to be it's more Jet versus the rest in 250 West this year. See how everyone else goes. Jalik Swole, it's a bit interesting. I don't think I don't expect him to do much, but you never know. He probably might just come out and just win a race this year, which I don't think it's likely. But I think for me, and it's not a stacked field in 250 East this year, so it might be a bit of a blessing in disguise for Swole, but I think for me, I think Swole, I think he'll be. I don't think he'll be a title contender, but I think he'll be up there months maybe top 5 to 7 in the championship. And then Hampshire definitely is a title contender, no doubt about it, alongside alongside the Jets, Jet Lawrence, Austin Faulkner, McAdoo, so on and so forth, who are going to be in that class. Now to my final 2 segments. For this series, the most under pressure, that involves, as I said, it involves a rider, a team, a manufacturer. I was going to choose Austin Faulkner, but I decided that the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki is going to be the most under pressure. I think. Yes, there's Star Yamaha, but there's probably no expectations on them because of not a strong rider lineup this year. But in terms of Pro Circuit Kawasaki, I mean they have Shimoda, they have Faulkner, they have McAdoo, they have Shimoda, they have Seth Handmaker. Yes, Seth Handmaker is not on the level of Faulkner, Shimoda, and McAdoo, but he is in there. But he has proven to be a very good talent. All that talent. There's just no excuses for him. In terms of the West side, McAdoo and Faulkner, especially Faulkner, have to challenge Jet. They have to. They have no excuses, really. If they both get hurt, that's another failed year for Mitch Payton and his team. There's another failed year. So for me, they have to deliver, no doubt about it, on that front. On that front. Now, the Spotlight Rider, I would have got. I'm guessing you guys watching this would say just choose Jet. Nah, I'm going to choose the other Lawrence brother in Hunter. I think I think this year is going to be massive for Hunter, because now with a slightly depleted field in the East class, and the fact that Jet is not going to be is going to be moving up to the 450 class in terms of motocross this year. This is the year for Hunter to say, look at me, look at what I can do. And he definitely showed signs of that when he went up against Jet throughout most of the motocross season last year. And of course, challenging for the title, for the Supercross title, 250 Supercross title in both 2021 and 2022. So he has proven that. Now it's time for him to deliver and create history for him and Jet becoming the first brothers to win both 250 Supercross championships in the same year. So yeah. That was my Spotlight Rider. Now I move into my season predictions for this season. So quite simply, I have I predicted a 450 Supercross champion, a 250 Supercross East and West champion, and bold predictions for for all three of these classes. So let's go. Let's go to champions first. Now let's go 450 class first. Just end up the top. I think for me, the guy who I think will win this championship. I've been very impressed with him. I was very impressed with him last year, challenging for the championship. It fell short in that, but then the title and then obviously this year, with him being on the same team, the same bike, the same people, I think it'll help him. I think this is the time for Jason Anderson to say to all the doubters that I'm not another Jeff Emig. And just say, yeah, I'm now a two-time. Those talks be put to bed. I'm going to be a two-time Supercross champion. I predict, yes, that's right. I predict Jason Anderson to win the 450 Supercross championship. Why do you think that is? Now, one fact I can remind you about this is back in when he won the title in 2017, he won the final race at Las Vegas. Next year, he ended up winning the championship. Last year, and then last year, he ended up winning the finale at Salt Lake. Put two and two together, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I could say. And then simply, let's go to Tiffany class. You just predict it, can you? Jet and Hunter winning both East and West. Jet on the West, Hunter on the East. No doubt about it. You can't really script off it. I think Hunter will have a much tougher ride of it than what everyone else thinks. Yeah, I think Jet when he's on, I think he will be unbeatable on the west side of things, despite it being a star-studded field in the West class. But I think Hunter will have a tougher go at it because he might maybe underestimate his competition a little bit, and then that would mean they will get him a bit complacent, and then just let the guys like Shimoda, Moserman into the title fight. No doubt about it, which I'll get to my bold prediction. But actually now, my 450 bold prediction for this. Now, this is based off of Anaheim 1, which actually it's on right now as I speak. By the way. I predict Malcolm Stewart to win. Now, you must be thinking, well, everyone's predicting Malcolm Stewart. Probably everyone's predicting Malcolm Stewart to win. What are you talking about? That's not bold. Well, let me finish. I predict Malcolm Stewart to win Anaheim 1. He's my pick to win this race right now as I'm speaking. So I predict him to do that. Because as I said in that episode, I said that he's wanting to break out of the curtain, out of the shadows of his older brother James. Just want to say, I think he win Anaheim 1. The crowd will go wild. He just says, "Look at me, I've officially arrived with an Anaheim 1 win," and yeah. I was going to predict him to win at least one of the early rounds, but I thought, why not? Anaheim 1. Yeah. And then my bold predictions for the 250 class on the west side, I think Jet Lawrence will go undefeated until the title is sealed. Now, what it might be confused by this is he'll win. He'll win the title with a victory. And then after the title is sealed, after the title is wrapped up, that's when that streak comes to an end. Because the pressure's off, He doesn't have to win anymore. He's already got the title. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's what I mean by he will go undefeated until the title is sealed. So yeah. And on the East side, I predict it will be Hunter Lawrence versus Michael Moserman for the Supercross title. And why do I think Michael Moserman is going to challenge for the title with Hunter more than Shimoda? The reason being is because I'm uncertain about Shimoda. I haven't seen him in a full-blown title fight ever. He hasn't been in one before. So why would I pick him to be in a title fight with Hunter? And besides, also Moserman, and besides, these two raced each other on the west side of things last year, and they were title contenders with Christian Craig. So why can't they just be 1 and 2 in the championship on the east side? So that's why I predict, my bold prediction is have Hunter Lawrence and Michael Moserman go head to head for the title on the east side. Would it go down the last race? Would it go down the East-West Showdown at Salt Lake, I believe? Is anybody's guess. But that's my pick. So that is pretty much it for this for this season preview. Bit late because the 450 class main event is currently on right now. But my plan is to at least review every single 450 every single Supercross race, 250 class and 450 class after each race weekend. So probably on every Monday, maybe Monday or Tuesday. I'm still trying to work that out. Probably today, probably every Monday, and then probably straight afterwards after that, because I'm looking to continue my Big Bash match review series. So I'm gonna try and simply do that after each race. So like this video. Share to anybody who is a Supercross fan, or you're a Jet Lawrence fan, or you're a Lawrence or a general Lawrence Brothers fan. Comment down below who are your tips to win the 2023 Supercross title in all three classes. Do you think that it'll be Eli Tomac to win back-to-back in the 450 class? Do you think that Faulkner will break his duck, break that drought, break that championship duck in the 250 West class, or do you think that Shimoda will prove me wrong and do challenge Hunter on the east side? I'd love to hear your opinions. So yeah, and one last thing, somewhere down there, click on the big red button which is labeled subscribe. But until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later. And I've just forgotten the outro. Forgotten it live on camera, by the way. And wherever you may be, may the sun or the moon shine on you as the gates drop for the 2023 Supercross season.